Now on Sunrise and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, the retirement of a police dog could be more complicated than it seems. And protests in D.C. and across the country continue in response to Trump's policies. Plus, a $1 billion jackpot is still up for grabs. The odds of winning, that's just ahead.
And if y'all saw rain yesterday, I hope y'all enjoyed it, because guess what's coming back? That beaming Texas sun to heat us up for the rest of the week. And we'll have all that in the weather coming up.
Good morning, Crossroads. The Battle of the Boot is later on this week. We're taking a deep look into both schools and their other key matchups coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning, Crossroads, and happy Tuesday. And Parker, speaking of cold fronts, I did feel the cold front you previewed for us earlier. I believe it was the end of last week.
Yeah.
It was nice and cool. It was 10 a.m. at the
Just
grocery
for a
store.
short
Just
moment.
a little tolerable.
Yeah.
But today we're going to have to start our chores a lot earlier to avoid the pressure of that heat.
Yeah, we're kind of in the second day of meteorological fall, but y'all know, if y'all seen the forecast, we're going right back to that summer heat. So y'all stay safe. We're going to look at all that here in just a second, because this morning we actually have a pretty sunrise coming over the camera. This is on the Victoria camera looking southeast over the waters, technically in the direction. Starting out the day 74 degrees, dew points about a degree off 73. Still bringing us a humidity of 97% this morning, but not enough to worry about fog because we have some mixing in the air. So don't worry about that this morning. Worry about the heat that will be with us today. Looking at temperatures before that gets here, low, mid, and even upper 70s near that warm Gulf water. But looking up North Texas, they are officially in the 50s. I think for the first time so far this year. 59 right now in Amarillo, and 60s in some parts of the state as well. But we're not super jealous of them just yet, because they didn't see rain. Some of us did yesterday. You could see south of 59 got up to 2.5 inches in some areas. But today, not looking at too much of that. We're looking at a lot of sun. So if you're sending your kiddos out the door, grab those sunglasses. It'll be a bit of a sunny and kind of hot day. We'll have all those details next.
Police have identified the man killed in an early morning shooting on Saturday. When police responded to a business in the 2100 block of Lone Tree Road, they found 23-year-old Tyler Gamez shot. He was taken to a Victoria hospital where he later died. Victoria police say they are still investigating all leads. Anyone with information is asked to contact Victoria Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. Tips are anonymous. New details on a complaint from a Seadrift resident about possible misuse of city assets involving a police department K-9 unit. The resident claims the complaint is focused on suspected improper procedure for the retirement and removal of a K-9 unit named Roscoe. They claim the K-9 was never indicated as surplus, a requirement before city supplies can go on sale. There may have also been a dispute over the reported health conditions that led to Roscoe's medical retirement. We're waiting on veterinary records from Seadrift and the city of Rockport. Seadrift acquired Roscoe with the help of a several $1,000s grant. Rockport accepted Officer Roscoe at no cost, a little less than 2 years later. Many of the discussions surrounding Roscoe happened during city council meetings in 2023, and Seadrift does not have an archive of minutes for most of their meetings from that year posted. We have submitted an open records request in order to review them. Victoria County Commissioners meet at 10 this morning. They'll consider accepting $2.5 million from TxDOT for the Regional Airport Terminal Building project. They'll also receive notice of the Texas Home Visiting Program grant for the Victoria County Public Health Department. And they'll consider approving the Victim Coordinator and Liaison grant for the Victoria County Sheriff's Office. They'll meet in room 241 at 115 North Bridge Street. As protests against the president's policies continue across the country, the president is expected to make an announcement at the White House today. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the details.
Protesters taking to the streets on Labor Day, railing against President Trump and other billionaires who they claim are taking power away from the working class.
We call not only on community leaders, but our elected officials to stand with us as we continue to fight to protect home rule.
D.C.'s mayor struggling to walk a political tightrope, initially welcoming federal law enforcement, but later saying the involvement of immigration agents went too far, criticizing the use by some agents of masks to hide their identities. But Trump praising D.C.'s mayor yesterday, saying, wow, Mayor Muriel Bowser of D.C. has become very popular because she worked with me and my great people in bringing crime down to virtually nothing in D.C. The Trump administration says among the recent arrests in D.C. is a suspected MS-13 gang member in the country illegally.
No troops in Chicago! No troops in Chicago!
In Chicago, demonstrators condemning Trump's threat to launch an immigration crackdown in the Windy City as soon as this week.
We're going to defend our democracy in the city of Chicago. We're going to protect the humanity of every single person in the city of Chicago.
The mayor threatening legal action and signing an order barring Chicago police from helping federal authorities with immigration enforcement. In the meantime, new data shows the administration's immigration crackdown is reshaping the U.S. labor force. More than 1.2 million immigrants have vanished from the workforce since January. Immigrants make up nearly 1 in 5 U.S. workers, including nearly half of all farm workers and 1/3 of construction workers. Farm advocates say crops have been left to rot, and contractors say they're now struggling to fill crews at job sites. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
The Powerball jackpot has jumped to $1.3 billion after no ticket matched the lucky numbers Monday. The next chance to win big will be Wednesday. If someone wins the jackpot, they can receive the $1.3 billion over 30 years or a one-time payment of more than $500 million. The odds of winning are 1 in 292 million. Victoria City Council members meet at 5 this evening. They'll hold a public hearing for the tax rate and budget. They'll also discuss approval and adoption of the budget for the fiscal year beginning October 1st in the amount of $255,078,343. They will also discuss an ordinance setting the tax rate at about 47 cents per $100 of property valuation. Also on the agenda is an ordinance approving a budget amendment in the amount of $125,000 for the parking lot project at Riverside Golf Course. Remember, follow us on YouTube, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click that notification bell. The time now, let's get a look at our clock up here. It is 6:37 on our Tuesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up next on 25 News Now Sunrise. A local university with a new name welcomes back students to campus today.
There's growing turmoil at the CDC with confusion over vaccine policy, and now President Trump is weighing in. I'm Christiane Cordero in Washington with that story coming up.
And also coming up next after the break in the short-term forecast, you heard me say it's going to be another bit of a hot day today. So coming up next, I'll tell you just how hot I think it'll be near you. Well, good morning, Crossroads, and happy Tuesday. For your Tuesday, we do still have a very low rain chance. It's going to be at 20% for today, but it's going to be mainly for the afternoon. And we're going to look at that here in a second because before any of those rain chances get here, we still have a few showers and I guess a couple thunderstorms as well happening over the Gulf waters this morning, but nothing happening inland as you can see over land this morning, which is some good, some bad news because some of us still haven't really seen much in terms of rain over the last week. But if y'all get any pictures of that over the water, please send a picture because I bet you it looks really cool over the waters this morning. Otherwise, that'll stay with us over the water. So fishers and boaters, make sure that you're checking radar today. Otherwise, we don't really need to be checking radar inland because the chances are going to be 20% for the afternoon. Because before that, Future Tracker shows the morning is going to be pretty sunny. So make sure that you've got your sunglasses packed. And it'll stay mostly sunny for the rest of today. At around noontime, we'll pick up a little bit of passing cloud cover, still be mostly sunny. And also around 1 or 2 p.m. from 1 to 6 p.m. today, that's going to be our 20% chance to see, like I said, maybe just a couple spotty showers around the area that I cannot guarantee that you're going to see. Otherwise, everybody else, I guarantee you're going to see lots of sunshine today. So stay safe and stay hydrated because we're looking for a high of 96 underneath that Beam Texas sun in Victoria, which is about 3 degrees above where we're supposed to be. And we're all going to be looking for about 80 degrees at 9 a.m. Lots of us in the low 90s at noontime. And then we'll all be looking for mid and maybe even upper 90s this afternoon, which will be heating up for the rest of this week before rain gets here this weekend. And we'll look at that next.
All right, Crossroads, week 2 of high school football is here once again. And even though we're just getting started this season, we've already got some huge matchups lined up for Friday night. And one of them, I'm pretty sure you know it, especially if you're from Victoria. The Victoria West Warriors are one of the hottest teams in CFL, and heading into Friday night, they are all steam ahead after a big road win against Lockhart last Friday. West made a powerful statement in week 1. Senior Nolan Boyce led the charge with 106 passing yards and 94 rushing yards, finishing second in the team in rushing. Meanwhile, Genesis Jeffries dominated on the ground, rushing for 116 yards. And on the other side, there's Victoria East. They are hungry for their first win of the season after a tough opener, falling 27-0 to Georgetown. Can East turn things around and bring the heat back home? We'll find out Friday night at Memorial Stadium. And later on that Friday night, we'll also have 2 big matchups between all undefeated teams in the Edna Cowboys taking on the Bay City Black Caps and the Goliad Tigers taking on the Tidehaven Tigers. But that does it for your 25 News Now Sports. Until next time, I'm Ray Robinson.
We want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV. Just search for Crossroads Today Plus. President Trump is trying to ease the tension at the CDC, asking drug companies to justify the success of their COVID vaccines after RFK made changes to the organization. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the details.
This morning, President Trump is weighing in on the growing turmoil at the CDC, asking pharmaceutical companies to justify the success of their COVID vaccines, writing, quote, "Many people think they are a miracle that saved millions of lives. Others disagree." The COVID vaccines were developed during Trump's first administration, but have been subject to policy changes since the president appointed Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a vaccine skeptic, to lead the Department of Health and Human Services. And now 9 of the CDC's former directors who served both Republican and Democratic administrations are speaking out.
We couldn't sit by and let that be without lifting up our voices and calling on Congress to fulfill its oversight function and look into the actions that are taking place.
The former CDC directors wrote in a New York Times op-ed that Kennedy has, quote, "severely weakened programs designed to protect Americans from cancer, heart attacks, strokes, lead poisoning, injury, violence, and more." The op-ed comes just days after the ousting of the CDC's new director, Dr. Susan Menares. Sources tell ABC News Menares disagreed with Kennedy over changes to the COVID vaccine policy. Kennedy defended the decision to oust Menares by calling the agency, quote, "troubled."
There's a lot of trouble at CDC, and it's going to require getting rid of some people over the long term.
Kennedy's Food and Drug Administration has scaled back the COVID vaccine approval to only seniors and people with high-risk conditions, raising concerns that the shot may no longer be covered for those who fall outside those criteria.
Amid the turmoil, Kennedy wrote an email to the CDC staff that reads, "This mission remains strong, and so does my full confidence in you." As for that op-ed, neither Kennedy nor the White House responded to our request for comment. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
And now let's take a look at our viewer poll. We asked you, do you plan to get a COVID vaccine? We want to hear from you. Let's take a look. All right, 33% of you say yes, you do plan to get a COVID vaccine, and 67% of you say no, you do not plan to get a COVID vaccine. And we are also hearing from Daryl of Victoria. He says, absolutely not. I've taken shots and boosters in the past and will not take the booster now. I don't trust this administration with anything now. Thank you for taking part in our viewer poll. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to keep taking part. Today is the first day of classes for the A&M University Victoria campus. As of Monday, the university joined A&M as the 12th school in the system. UHV first opened in 1973 and grew for decades under the UH banner. But lawmakers push for the switch, saying A&M better fits the region's industries and offers more opportunities for students. The move comes with a $25 million state investment. Gold has never been as valuable as it is this morning. Prices for gold pushing past $3,500 an ounce to a new record high. Worries about a slower economy and the prospect of interest rate cuts pushing interest in precious metals higher. Prices for silver and platinum are also up. Fresh concerns about prescription drugs are underway, with President Trump talking about tariffs as high as 200% on pharmaceuticals made overseas. Experts now say those tariffs could force drug prices higher despite the president's promises to lower drug costs. The time now, let's get a look at our clock up here. It is 6:47 on our Tuesday morning. Still to come on Sunrise, a deadly incident linked to a viral challenge has authorities on alert. All right, it's time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday. Happy 6th birthday to Draven. Wishing you an amazing day. Love you always from Nana and all your family.
Oh, look at that sweet picture. Happy birthday, Draven. And also happy birthday to movie star Keanu Reeves. The Matrix actor is turning 61 today. Happy birthday, Keanu. And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, you can come to crossroadstoday.com. Just click the drop-down menu, then click the Home tab, and then you'll see Submit Your Birthday Photo.
All right, it is 6:47 on our Tuesday morning. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one today.
That's right, happy birthday. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, good morning, Crossroads. I'm sure a lot of y'all saw the 7-day forecast a few moments ago, and you first of all saw the heat that's coming back. You heard me talking about it for the rest of the week, but something more important that I'm sure y'all are looking forward to is more rain for the weekend time, and something else that you were probably looking forward to before the rain is another cool front, which we did have in the forecast originally for Sunday night, and as you can see, I've taken that away because of a couple things. There's a few reasons why, and I know it probably made y'all super upset. I'm sorry. Just as a set, I'd like a front, please, because it's a little hot out there. But looking at why we're not expecting a front anymore, it's because of a couple systems out there. First of all, high pressure over the Rocky Mountains right now. This is producing a ridging pattern across the entire country, most of the country, and that's what's bringing back the heat with the sunshine coming out with the dry air mass overhead, bringing back that sunshine. But over the weekend, or I guess later this week, we're going to be tracking two separate low pressure systems, shifting our focus away from the high pressure to these, because each of these are going to send separately a cold front down south through the country. Low number 1 will send the front down here, installed somewhere around Oklahoma, but low number 2, coupled with what is forming Tropical Storm Lorena in the Pacific, once that moves over the Rockies and off the Rockies, that's going to slingshot the second front a little bit further south. But because Lorena is coming off the Rockies one day later than we thought, it's not going to slingshot it all the way down south. But it's okay, because there's going to be a lot of moisture coming off of that system. That's going to bring us rain chances, and we're still tracking another wave in the Davie Atlantic. Not going to be of any concern to us, but we're going to look at all that and more later on Sunrise.
A door-knocking prank turned deadly for a boy in Houston. Police say he was shot in the back. It's not the first time this kind of prank inspired by social media has turned deadly. Here's ABC's Morgan Norwood.
Police in Houston say the 11-year-old victim was playing ding-dong ditch with friends when around 11:30 p.m. Saturday, they rang the doorbell of this house and ran off.
Shooting just occurred for a little boy that was shot.
Police say a witness saw a man run out with a handgun, firing 2 to 3 shots, hitting the boy in the back.
I think they were able to run for about a block before he lost consciousness and dropped in the street. I believe he lives a block away.
The boy pronounced dead at the hospital the next day.
That's very, very devastating.
It's an innocent life taken that he could have avoided.
Police detaining a middle-aged man, saying they found a significant number of guns in the home. He has not yet been charged.
In my opinion, that doesn't look like any type of self-defense. It wasn't close to the house, so it'll more than likely be a murder charge.
This incident similar to a door-kicking challenge trend on social media. Police in Arizona say this video shows a group of kids participating in the challenge, kicking the front door of a home, targeting the location multiple times. Other doorbell pranks have turned deadly Earlier this year, a Virginia man was charged with fatally shooting a high school senior whose friends said they were playing Ding Dong Ditch, allegedly kicking in the door. And in 2023, a California man was sentenced to life in prison for killing 3 teens, ramming them down with his car after they rang his doorbell and tried to run away. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. Today we mark a pivotal day in history, an event that changed the world forever. Stay with us as we reflect on its lasting impact. Today marks the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II. Japan signed a formal surrender on September 2nd, 1945. The signing ceremony was held on the deck of the battleship USS Missouri in Tokyo Bay. World War II was one of the deadliest and most destructive conflicts in history. It also marks the only time a nuclear weapon has ever been used in warfare. Hundreds are feared dead after a 6.0 magnitude earthquake struck eastern Afghanistan Monday morning. The quake struck 17 miles from the city of Jalalabad near the border with Pakistan around midnight. The death toll now passing more than 1,400. Since the initial quake, at least 5 aftershocks ranging from 4.5 magnitude to 5.2 magnitude have hit the area. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent gave an update on the Russia-Ukraine conflict on Monday. He said slapping further sanctions on Russia is still a possibility and all options are on the table. Bessent says Vladimir Putin has done the opposite of what he told Trump he would do. Russia has increased its bombing campaign on Ukraine with no signs of letting up. The Trump administration has increased efforts to get personal information about tens of millions of voters nationwide. In recent weeks, the Department of Justice sent state election officials letters seeking unredacted copies of states' voter registration databases. The information includes voters' names, birth dates, addresses, and driver's license numbers, and the last 4 digits of Social Security numbers. All right, it is time to look at our forecast with Parker. Parker, right here, the sunrise is looking pink.
Oh yeah, y'all got to see this sunrise. Look at all of the pink that is across the sky this morning as that sun's starting to come up. And if you look really closely, all the clouds in the background are all from the thunderstorms that are over the waters this morning, which we'll look at right here on the radar in a second, because we're starting out the day at 74 degrees in Victoria, warm and humid like we always are. Nothing new, of course. Humidity is at 97% actually right now, but not enough to worry about fog because we got some mixing in the air. Thanks to this, we got, like I said, a few thunderstorms over the waters this morning, but inland counties are looking pretty clear this morning, and I think it's going to be looking like that for most of today, except for that 20% chance for a few spotty showers in the afternoon time. That'll be for everybody. High of 96, maybe 97 today in Port Lavaca, same thing in Victoria, 96, maybe 97. Underneath that beaming Texas sun, and the same thing at Cuero. I'm thinking 97 today, maybe even 98 with that light rain chance for the afternoon. But better rain chances will arrive this weekend, and it's not coming from the Atlantic, although this system has increased chances of development. That's going to be coming from Tropical Depression 12E in the eastern Pacific. As you can see, it's going to be making its way towards the Baja Peninsula of Mexico, and then once it moves over the Rocky Mountains, that's when it's going to bring our rain chances back for the weekend at a nice 30 to 50%.
All right, thank you, Parker. I'll be looking forward to that precipitation.
Oh, yeah.
And thank y'all for being with us this morning. Be sure to join Shauna, Don, Maclovio, and Max today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10. Make it a great Tuesday.